Hi guys, and welcome to a battle between the High Elves led by Scourge of the West up against the mighty Extreme Meme Team's very own Falcon in control of the favourite Lizardmen. So let's get into this battle and get it cracking. Now there's some very interesting builds. I'm really excited to show you guys this battle. So let's just slow down a little bit. Actually, we'll go for a straight up pause as about as get underway quite quickly, as you can see, and go through the armies. Now for Scourge of the West and his High Elves, let's have a little look. So in the front line, we've got some nice, cheap and cheerful spearmen chevroned up a little bit just to hold back the enemy. And they're going to be assisting some Lothran Seaguard, just hiding behind them, going to be firing over top. Lothran Seaguard, one of my favourite High Elf units actually because of their utility. They are, of course, archers, but also have these pesky spears to help deal with light cav. And a lot of time you can also bring shielded versions as well. Now in the centre here, holding it down, we have the Pure Main Company Regiment Renowned White Lions. Going to be doing a decent job. Should be able to trade fairly effectively with Saurus Warriors. And they're going to be protecting some Sisters of Avalon, a very powerful unit. Now these guys basically fire little laser missiles which destroy large dinosaurs and heavily armoured foes. However, they are really susceptible to wind blasts. So we'll have a little look in a second and see if Falcon has brought that himself. Up in the sky, we have a mighty star dragon, the toughest of dragons, as we help to claim dominance of the air and do some very nasty breath attacks. Right up front, very interesting pick, we have the Handmaiden of the Everqueen, someone I've been seeing a lot more recently in multiplayer games, normally used alongside Sisters of Avalon to give them all the boosts, but looks like going to be used as a mobile shooting force, trying to get some early damage and skirmish. And over hidden in the forest, we have some legendary dragon princes. Ultimate shock cav of the High Elves, the elite of the elite. Back in the day, they used to ride dragons. Unfortunately, they have been reduced to horses, but still a very potent shock cav. And let's see who we have for a lord. We have the little dweeb Teclis, who I often get killed, but is a very, very good lord in the hands of a good player. Let's see what spells he has brought. Of course, he has Arcane Conduit and all that, but he's also got Net of Amantalk, Enfeeble Info, Regrowth, and then he's also got his potions and Bound Fiery Convocation. So overall, a very nice set list. Let's see if he can pay for himself. And so if we take a look at the Lizman list, you're going to see some pretty bold choices here. So in the back, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of Razor Hunting Packs. Now, I like a Razordon as much as the next guy. This is pretty damn extreme, but let's see if it works. It could be something that kind of be brought to the light and works really well. Now, they're going to be assisting a load of cheap and cheerful skink cohorts. Of course, a little bit cheap and cheerful because of this expensive investment in the back. There's also going to be some big dinosaurs riding along, adding a little bit of punch to this quite weak front line. We do have the mighty Krokgar, my favourite of the Lizardman lords. I don't think he's the most competitive, but he certainly can be used really well. Hand of the Gods in particular can delete characters. We have the Thunderous one, Ancient Stegodon Regiment around, very powerful, also drops incredible bolts of lightning, much like 4 does, and can do some really good damage, and very good at clearing out chaff. We have the cohort of Sotek with their very useful ability Refuse to Die. So they still take damage when this happens, but they don't lose model counts, which allows them to be a little bit sticky. They, of course, are unbreakable and keep a little bit of their starting punch. We also have a Skink Priest of Beasts here with the Flock of Doom, very good at getting rid of chaff, and a Manticore summon. So let's get this underway. So there is no Wind Blast to deal any threats onto the Sisters of Avalon. However, there is an absolute bucket load of skinks to force their way into that backline and try and shut it down. And we can see a big Hand of the Gods coming in, and it nearly one-shots that Handmaiden. It looks like 1 or 2 of the beams did miss. That could have been enough to finish it off outright, but looks like she's going to retreat back now. She should gain her wits a little bit and still be all good to carry on. So the large forces of the High Elves are advancing, and the Lizardmen have also now started advancing to meet them. The dragon floating ahead of the army. No, there's not too much. Actually, well, these Razordons could really threaten this Star Dragon. I don't think he knows quite how much damage these guys can do, but it looks like he's trying to get up and have a little look around, maybe get a decent breath attack in. But he is starting to take some shots. We have 2 units shooting at him, and you can see they do a ton of damage, and that's just 2 of the units. Or maybe this third one also actually got some shots away, but it looks like the front line is about to engage. Krokgar headlong slam to Spearmen. Very nice play here though, stopping the Spearmen and bracing them, but you know, there's only so much you can do up against Krokgar. But a fantastic play by Scourge here. He has dropped a net down. Sacred Spawning has been popped as well as a bit of a rebuttal, but the Sisters of Avalon are now getting in some really decent shots, and a big breath attack coming in on Krokgar. Looks like it shoves him out the way a little bit, however. Now over in the sides, we do have some Dragon Princes just rolling over some cohort of Sotek and really trying to shut down that Skink Priest. He's been a bit pesky and already summoned a Feral Manticore. who is most likely going to hunt down Teclis, who's taken an absolute hammering from the Thunderous one. But big attack coming down there. It looks like mainly a miss, but in this very key fight here, Crocodile is surrounded. He's getting pinged by the Sister Avalon and the Star Dragon in the back. Looks like it's going to be able to finish him off. Cold-blooded, trying to keep him in the fight. Let's see how the Razordons are doing. It looks like they've taken only minimum damage so far, and they've been pinning shots in where they can, trying to get on top of these Dragon Princes. Croc Guy is running for the hills, and this Star Dragon surely is going to chase him off, or maybe even the Dragon Princess will do that job for him. So very back and forth games so far. Backline does look like it's slightly compromised for the High Elves, and Teclis, in fact, has been broken off the field. He is routing, but hopefully he will return. That Manticore as well is looking like he's going to disappear fairly shortly. Balance of power currently in favour of the Lizardmen, but once he goes, that should hopefully level out slightly. So this Avalon keep trying to fall back and drag these skinks away, but they really need some protection. They need to get some cav over there. And it looks like I did miss 2 units of Illyrian Reavers, who I believe were in deep reserve. They've now come back and really done a great job of hunting down these Razordon packs, and they've got them all darting, but they have nowhere to go. These skinks aren't going to be too much of a roadblock really for Illyrian Reavers just to ride through, and they're just doing some great job. If I was the Razordons, I'd probably try and get away from Dragon Prince and so forth, and the Spearmen, maybe stick and fight the Illyrian Reavers. Razordons actually been fairly decent melee combatants themselves. So over on this ground here, we do have a bit of a wet noodle contest between Spearmen and Skink cohorts. But the Dragon just floating around, he can easily help win this side of the battlefield. Looks like the Dragon Princes are returning after Crocodile has routed. They could easily pop on top of the Skink Priest right here. See some lightning strikes coming down on top of these Spearmen from the Thunderous one. He needs to get engaged a little bit. Really nice play of these Cav, just cleaning up these very expensive Razordons and running over the Skinks. That could be a big problem with this army up against Cav. In the back, it looks like Illyrian Reavers have swum in on some Razordons, helping secure this back line, which did get overrun. Do we have any Sisters Avalon? It looks like they did get scared off by a Razordon hunting pack, but Teclis is back, pretty much up to full health. He's now at his healing cap, and Sister Avalon are actually returning in the trees here. They could be very key, as they're going to be needed to help bring down the Thunderous one, who's going to be absolute behemoth in this late stage here. So let's just slow it down quickly and have a nice overarching view of the battlefield and just take into account what's actually left. So it looks like the Razordons did finally turn and fight, and they're going to be able to scare off these Illyrian Reavers, and 2 units left unimpeded can do some serious damage. Looks like these poor buddy over here, though, has lost his pack and is going to be running for the hills. So 2 Razordons over here for the Lizardmen. We have Skink cohorts running, but they could rally, and a lot of backline harass, including the Thunderous one, who may be able to save these Razordon hunting pack. Now for the High Elves, we have some fairly healthy Dragon Princes over here, some very healthy Lothran Seaguard and Illyrian Reavers, and just units dotted all around the battlefield that, if they could come together, could be a real big problem, as they need, though, to take down the Thunderous one. And we can see the Star Dragon taking a bit of a beating, but there is healing available with Teclis rallied to the field. Bringing him back could be very, very key here, and a healthy Star Dragon is a very useful tool to help take on the Thunderous one. That Feral Manticore is chasing down that Star Dragon, trying to do the damage where it can. It is faster, I believe, with an extra 5 speed. So it's going to be getting some nice rear attacks into the Star Dragon, but of course it is a summon, and they do disappear over time. I remember the good old days where they used to stick around forever and just slowly degenerate. They were very powerful then. So Illyrian Reavers and Spearmen may be enough to hunt down these Razordons. The anti-large really helping out. And we do have a Convocation coming down now, swooping along the cohort of Sotek. A bit overkill perhaps, but it's really going to help these Lothran Seaguard win this fight. It looks like we do have a regrowth going up on this Star Dragon, definitely going to heal him up a nice juicy amount. Looks like that Manticore has dissipated as well. So Dragon Princes now have a nice surround on the Thunderous one, and the Pure Main Company charging to their aid, running up to him. Oh look, looks like they're going to be doing a little bit of a retreat, trying to get a surround on the Thunderous one. But looks like they're going to be pulling back for now, maybe trying to use their extra mobility to get away from this big nasty creature. Over in the distance, we have some really nice play. The Star Dragon's been used very good for this game, hunting down Razordon packs, refusing to take his foot off the throttle here. Is Scourge of the West, hunting down these units. If these units are all allowed to be brought to bear and assist the Thunderous one, the High Elves could be in deep trouble, but if they can isolate it, just ignore it as much as possible and pick off all the other elements, I think the High Elves stand a really good chance. The balance of power now, in fact, have been in their favour. So we have some Spearmen just fighting some Skink cohorts in a kind of nothing fight over here. I would really take the Star Dragon now, pop it on that Skink Priest, and drag him down to really help swing the leadership in favour of the High Elves. Of course, he doesn't have any Manticore summons left, but he still is keeping this army together. Dragon having to get out there. These Razons can really do some good armor piercing damage. 2 units, in fact, were firing on him, but he's managed to get out of range. And some skink cohorts are desperately trying to protect them against spearmen. And a big breath attack coming down here on top of the Thunderous one, doing some very good damage. Looks like he's also going in for a rear attack, trying to protect Teclis, who's really does not want to be in this fight. He's not the type of guy to want to fight a Thunderous one. And it looks like the Pure Main Company also running in, doing some really decent damage on that Thunderous one now, and some Sister Avalon firing from their hidden position in the trees here, getting some good work. So Teclis just floating around, up to no good. Looks like he's going to be casting a spell down over here. Oh no, it's a Flock of Doom, sorry, coming in from the Skink Priest, trying to just stave off these spearmen and allow the Razordons to actually kind of get in there and do their action. They have so much ammo left and they just haven't been able to get it off, unfortunately. So there is now a fight in the trees. Razordon Huntsback chasing down Sister Avalon and Illyrian Reavers. But Sister Avalon are really decent melee combatants. Much better than you would think. And it looks like, are they going to win this fight? Looks like the Razordons are actually going to leave them. And that could be a bit of a mistake as they are now getting shot in the back. But they're probably trying to come over here and assist the Thunderous one and get some shots on that Star Dragon. We do see another regrowth coming down. Teclis rallying from where he really got beat up early game has really helped out the High Elves here. Some really nice play. Big charge coming in on these Lothran Seaguard. We have Rampaging Razordons, Thunderous one, and the cohort of Sotek just piling in here, trying to protect these Razordons as well, keeping them nearby. Now getting some shots into Teclis now. Another huge breath attack down on the Thunderous one. That one made some really good impact here. And it looks like he's going to be going in for a bit of an alpha strike here with the Star Dragon plus Teclis trying to bring him down. He is almost breaking and he is starting to run from the field. And there's no way the High Elves are going to allow him to escape, surely. Nope, down he goes with one last Thunderous Bolt there, doing maybe some friendly fire. Cohort's not sure if that actually does friendly fire. But that Star Dragon is incredibly beat up and near its healing cap. Teclis near his healing cap. But without the Thunderous one, what do the Lizardmen really have? They have a Skink Priest, not really going to be able to do too much against a Dragon. We have some Razordons. If they were allowed to shoot at this Star Dragon, maybe could bring it down. But of course, there's nothing left to protect it. In the trees, we do have some skink cohorts chasing off Sisters and Dragon Princes. But we do have the rallying Pure Main Company who may pop over and have something to say about that. So many units have completely shattered now. Balanced powers start swinging. And that is a Pyrrhic victory to the High Elves. So let's go to the end stats there and have a little look. So overall, very well played to both combatants there, and two super cool armies. I really like the Star Dragon play, and as we can see, Dragon Prince's 107 kills, but I believe Teclis, especially managing to rally back and come in with those regrowths on top of the Star Dragon, really helped carry the day there, and managing to snipe out Krokgar fairly early on there. Really fantastic play by Scourge of the West, and this is in fact his first replay up on the channel. But you'll be seeing a lot more of him. He sent me a nice healthy batch of replays, and I'm going to be going through them over the next couple of weeks. There's some really awesome games, and he's going to be playing in the 8-man tournament we have coming up. As for Falcon's army, very experimental, coming with the 5 Razordons, sorry. I can see this working possibly, but there was just such good pressure from the Dragon. Illyrian Reavers coming in the back, hunting those guys down, and really not allowing them to use up too much of their ammunition. The Thunderous one combined with Krokgar is 2 units I like to use quite a lot as well, if I'm going for more of like a skirmishy build with the Lizardmen, as they add a little bit of added punch. But Krokgar getting killed fairly early on really did put him on the back foot, and it was quite a close game in the end, but really well played to Scourge of the West, and a great game. So that was a super fun game to cast, guys. Really interesting. I hope you guys also liked. If you did, please do consider leaving a big old thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. And contemplate subscribing as well if you haven't already. We do multiplayer battles, campaigns, tournaments, the lot. So until next time, guys, peace, and stay awesome.